Chapter 2387. A few days later, Great Emperor Hung, Great Emperor Tianluo, and the rest contacted the Mu clan. However, the Mu clan was more cautious. They planned to invite assassins from the Death God Nation to assassinate Lu Ming. Great Emperor Hung, Great Emperor Tianluo, and the rest were overjoyed. With the help of the Death God Nation, it would save them a lot of trouble. Lu Ming was naturally unaware of all this. He stayed in the ancient Moon Sacred Ground for more than 10 days before heading to Tsong State. With his speed, he soon arrived at Tsong State. Tsong State was now under the control of Dragon God Valley. It was a thriving place. Lu Ming flew directly to Dragon God Valley. At this moment, Dragon God Valley was having a meeting. At the peak of a mountain, there was an empty square. In the middle of the square, there was a battle stage. Two figures were fighting fiercely on it. If Lu Ming was here, he would recognize one of the figures on the battle stage. It was Fatty Kong Jin, and the other person was Lu Ming's senior brother, Tian Shui. Both of their attacks were direct, using the method of meeting force with force. Boom, boom. One of them held a battle axe, while the other held a giant hammer. They constantly attacked and unleashed terrifying energy. After so many years, Kong Jin's cultivation had improved greatly. He had already broken through to the Great Saint realm. However, Tian Shui was naturally stronger than Kong Jin. He seemed to be at ease as he completely suppressed Kong Jin. There were many people sitting at the side of the battle stage. Lu Ming's master, Cloud Dragon Valley Master. There were also Xielwan, Supreme Nine Sons, Yin Kuangtu, and the others from Divine Wilderness Continent. Dragon God Valley had sent people to Divine Wilderness Continent. The two places had been connected. Kong Jin and Tian Shui exchanged dozens of blows. Kong Jin was completely suppressed. In the end, Tian Shui's hammer smashed him until he rolled on the ground. His fat jiggled nonstop. I'm done. I'm no match for you. Let's fight again later. Kong Jin shouted. Weren't you quite arrogant before? Ha ha ha. Tian Shui laughed. You've been cultivating in Yuanlu since you were young. It's normal for your cultivation to be stronger than mine. Kong Jin curled his lips. Haha, Fatty, did you get beaten up? At this moment, a clear and bright laughter came from the sky. Hearing this laughter, the fatty's eyes widened. Then he was overjoyed and shouted, Lu Ming, haha, it's you, Lu Ming. Where have you been all these years? At the same time, the eyes of the Cloud Dragon Valley Master, Xielwan, Xiaojuyang, and the others around the battle stage lit up as they looked towards the sky. There was no one in the sky. But in the next moment, a figure flashed. Lu Ming's figure appeared out of thin air. No one saw clearly how Lu Ming appeared. Lu Ming, it's really Lu Ming. Many people were overjoyed and rose into the air one after another. Master, Senior Xia, Senior Jiuyang, Big Brother Yin. Lu Ming cupped his fists and bowed to everyone. Lu Ming, where did you run off to? You've been gone for over 20 years, and there's not even a shadow of you. Kong Jin pursed his lips and walked over to give Lu Ming a punch. I went to the heavenly realm, and now I'm back to see you all. Lu Ming smiled. Heavenly realm? Kong Jin's eyes lit up and said, You actually went to the heavenly realm. How is it? Are there many experts in the heavenly realm? Of course, there are many experts. Martial emperors are everywhere. Lu Ming said. Everyone looked forward to it. Ming, how's your cultivation? The Cloud Dragon Valley Master asked. Many people also looked at Lu Ming. They had all heard rumors that Lu Ming could not become a martial emperor. Master, don't worry. I've already become a martial emperor. Lu Ming said with a smile. Great. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master was overjoyed. Congratulations, Alliance Leader. Xielwan, Xiaojuyang, and the others were also overjoyed. The scene was filled with joy. By the way, where are my parents? Are they still in the Divine Wilderness Continent? Lu Ming asked. No, they came to the Yuan continent. I don't know why, but the passage in Nine Dragons City suddenly collapsed. The origin chi in the Divine Wilderness Continent has become thin again. Now many people from the Dragon Alliance have come to the Yuan continent to cultivate. Xielwan explained. Lu Ming nodded. This was within his expectations. Then, the news of Lu Ming's return quickly spread. The Dragon God Valley was bustling with noise and excitement. The people from the Dragon God Valley and the Dragon Alliance also gathered. Not long after, Lu Ming met his parents and some other acquaintances. I'm back this time to bring you all to another place with better conditions to cultivate. It was still the same square, but this time countless people gathered. Lu Ming stood at the highest point and said, "Another place? Ming, or where do you plan to go?" The Cloud Dragon Valley Master asked. "Celestial City, the leader of the 9 great sacred lands in the Yuan Mountain Land." Lu Ming said word by word. The cultivation environment in the Tsang state was still too bad. This time, Lu Ming came back to move the base to the Celestial City. Lu Ming would get rid of the Hung family, and He family in the Celestial City to settle the people from the Dragon God Valley and the Dragon Alliance. Celestial City. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master's eyes lit up. Such a sacred land was simply unimaginable for them. Lu Ming could actually bring them to the Celestial City? Now everyone can enter my small world first. After Lu Ming finished speaking, a small world appeared in his dantian. Lu Ming's body was surrounded by the resplendent World Divine Light. World Divine Light, True Emperor Realm. This is a true emperor. The legendary True Emperor. The scene was in an uproar. Everyone was shocked and overjoyed. Especially Lu Ming's father Lu Yuntian and mother Li Ping. They were even more overjoyed. The higher Lu Ming's achievements were, the happier they would be. For the people of the Tsang state or Divine Wilderness continent, the Void Emperor was a supreme existence, not to mention a true emperor. In the past, they had never even heard of it. The small world became bigger and bigger, finally reaching 100 miles in size, covering the sky above the square. Go in. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master, Xielwan, and the others rushed into Lu Ming's small world. Behind them, Lu Ming's parents and the others also rushed in one after another. One by one, the figures dashed into Lu Ming's small world and disappeared. Not long after, there were hundreds of thousands of people who entered Lu Ming's small world. When everyone entered Lu Ming's small world, it shrank and flew back into Lu Ming's dantian. Lu Ming's soul force condensed in the small world. It was no different from a real person. Such rich origin qi. The origin qi here is richer than in the Tsang state. This is Lu Ming's small world, right? It's really vast. Everyone carefully sized it up and flew around curiously. Lu Ming's small world was 700,000 miles wide, although it was considered small compared to the outside world, and was not worth mentioning. A few 100,000 miles was more than enough for one to cultivate here. When Lu Ming led the crowd to the Enlightenment Ancient Tree, everyone was shocked. Because here their cultivation speed increased crazily. Some people gained enlightenment on the spot and broke through. Chapter 2388. After that, everyone began to make arrangements. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master sent some people to collect some of the Dragon God's resources in Tsang state and put them into Lu Ming's small world. For example, some spiritual herbs and sacred herbs were planted in Lu Ming's small world. Now Lu Ming's small world had taken shape. After dozens of years of reproduction, green grass was everywhere. The trees had also fully grown, and some were even hundreds of meters tall. There were also various spiritual herbs and sacred herbs that decorated the mountain peaks. Lu Ming even took the time to buy a large number of low-level demonic beasts and sent them into his small world, making it seem full of vitality. It looked no different from a normal world. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master left a small group of people in Tsang state. The others entered Lu Ming's small world, intending to move their base. After settling the matters in Tsang state, Lu Ming made another trip to the Divine Wilderness continent. When Lu Ming appeared, the Divine Wilderness continent was naturally shaken. Now that the Divine Wilderness continent was completely under the control of the Dragon Alliance, Lu Ming asked the upper echelons of the Dragon Alliance to gather all the talented people in the Dragon Alliance. Then he asked for everyone's opinion. Those who were willing to leave with Lu Ming entered Lu Ming's small world. Naturally, most people were willing to leave. On the path of cultivation, everyone wanted to climb higher mountains, leave the Divine Wilderness, and enter a better place for cultivation. Who wouldn't be willing? After everything was ready, Lu Ming left the divine wilderness continent and returned to Tsang state. Then, without looking back, he headed for the ancient moon sacred ground. He planned to go to the ancient moon sacred ground first, then go to Celestial City to deal with the Hung and He families. However, just as Lu Ming was about to reach the ancient moon sacred ground, Lu Ming's eyes suddenly moved. This was because Lu Ming could sense a cold murderous intent in the sky. Whoosh! At this moment, a sword light suddenly pierced out from the void. Its speed was extremely fast. This sword was a one-hit kill. It was fast, accurate, and ruthless. Its power was extremely strong. The sword light contained the aura of the great Tao. The assassin was a great emperor. As soon as the sword light appeared, a terrifying killing intent surged out. The sword light was already nearing Lu Ming's forehead, but Lu Ming's expression was very calm. Before his opponent's sword light could pierce his glabella, his two fingers had already caught the sword light between his eyebrows. Then, the sword light froze, unable to move forward at all. It was a black-clothed man with a mask on his face. It was the Death God mask. At this moment, the black-clothed man's pupils contracted rapidly. The killing blow that he had been brewing for a long time was actually caught between Lu Ming's two fingers. No matter how hard he tried, Lu Ming's fingers and his sword couldn't move an inch. Terrifying, what terrifying strength. He understood that Lu Ming's strength was too terrifying, and did not match the information they had received. Retreat. He let go of the sword in his hand and retreated as fast as he could. He had the cultivation of a great emperor, and was good at speed. His speed was extremely fast. However, Lu Ming was faster than him. Lu Ming's figure flashed and appeared behind him. He reached out a hand and clasped his neck. A terrifying force surged in. The black-clothed man's body was sore and weak, unable to move at all. At this moment, he was extremely terrified. His cultivation was a one-star great emperor. Given his cultivation, he did not have the slightest ability to resist Lu Ming. How was that possible? How could Lu Ming be so strong? Death God Kingdom, haha. It's too late to leave now. Lu Ming sneered and looked to the front. Then the muscles on his body shook and his figure dashed out. He did not know how far he had dashed in an instant. In front, there was another black-clothed man with a Death God mask on his face, fleeing frantically. This person's cultivation was stronger than the black-clothed man in Lu Ming's hand. He was a two-star great emperor. However, he didn't dare to stay any longer. A one-star great emperor was as weak as a baby in Lu Ming's hands. Lu Ming's strength was definitely above that of a two-star great emperor. He could only flee. Otherwise he would die. However, fleeing was also a dead end. Bang! Lu Ming threw out a punch. A terrifying fist intent crushed the void. The black-clothed man felt a deadly threat and unleashed his full strength, slashing backward with his sword. The slash was strong, but it couldn't withstand a single blow from Lu Ming's fist intent. As the fist intent passed by, the sword intent collapsed. The black-clothed man's body exploded and turned into ashes. A two-star great emperor was killed in a single blow. The black-clothed man in Lu Ming's hand opened his eyes wide. Damn it, I've been tricked. He roared in his heart. They had received news that Lu Ming's strength was only equivalent to that of a one-star great emperor. However, he had a heavenly emperor's body with him. However, in the eyes of these assassins, what they valued was the opponent's strength. External forces were useless. They could kill with a single blow. Even if they had a heavenly emperor's body, they couldn't use it. However, Lu Ming's current strength was more than that of a one-star great emperor. Even a three-star great emperor wasn't that strong. He was simply an advanced great emperor. Death God Nation, haha. Tell me, who sent you to kill me? Lu Ming looked at the black-clothed man in his hand and said coldly, "Don't you think you can get any information from me?" The black-clothed man said, "Oh, is that so?" Lu Ming said faintly. The power of the realm swirled and the other party's mask turned into ashes, revealing a pale middle-aged man's face. Bang! Lu Ming suddenly attacked. The power of law was like a blade, cutting off one of the other party's arms. However, the other party only groaned and didn't even frown. These assassins had undergone strict training, and their minds were far more tenacious than ordinary people. Moreover, the other party was a great emperor. You don't have to waste your time. Just kill me. The other party looked coldly at Lu Ming. You want to die? Not so easy, Lu Ming said coldly, and then punched the man's dantian. The terrifying power directly tore the man's small world apart and completely crippled his cultivation. With his cultivation crippled, the man let out a roar and stared at Lu Ming with bloodshot eyes. For a great emperor, having his cultivation crippled after a lifetime of hard work was worse than death. Are you going to tell me or not? Lu Ming said coldly. I won't tell you. Give up. The black-clothed man roared. If you don't tell me, I can only search your soul. After Lu Ming finished speaking, he pointed his finger at the other party's forehead and a powerful force poured in. He wanted to search the other party's soul to find out the secrets he knew. At the same time, Lu Ming wanted to find the headquarters of the Death God Nation and destroy this force in one fell swoop. This wasn't the first time this force had sent people to assassinate him. Back then, before the 10 Earths battle, he was assassinated by this force. That time he almost died. If it wasn't for the scapegoat Xian Yanqing gave him, he would have been in danger. Chapter 2389. Lu Ming pointed his finger between the eyebrows of the man in black. A powerful force, together with Lu Ming's own soul power, surged into the man's sea of consciousness and rushed towards his soul to search his soul. However, when Lu Ming's soul power approached the man's soul, Lu Ming's face suddenly changed. This was because he felt a terrifying dark force near the man's soul. When Lu Ming's soul power approached, the dark force exploded and swallowed the man in black's soul. The man in black let out a shrill scream, and his body struggled violently. In just a few breaths, his soul disappeared without a trace. Lu Ming withdrew his power and his face was gloomy. Someone had set up a seal near the man in black's soul. Once someone searched his soul, the seal would explode and destroy the soul of the person who was searched. No wonder the Death Nation was so mysterious. For so many years, no one had been able to find the headquarters of the Death Nation. At this moment, the man in black had completely turned into an idiot. Lu Ming waved his hand and flung the man in black away. He then fell into deep thought. The Death Nation wouldn't attack me for no reason. Someone must have hired an assassin from the Death Nation. Who could it be? In the Yuan realm, the most likely suspects are the Hung family, the He family, and the Daoyuo Heaven sect. However, the Death Nation is a huge force in the Divine Fate land. They have many experts. The Hung family, the He family, and the Daoyuo Heaven sect don't have such power. Then it must be the Mu family. Many thoughts flashed through Lu Ming's mind. He had deduced most of the matter. However, I can't rule out the possibility that other forces want to get rid of me. Or, it could be an expert from the Heaven realm. I must investigate this matter thoroughly. The Death Nation didn't kill me this time, but there will be a next time. I have to find someone to help me. Thinking of this, Lu Ming continued to move forward and entered the ancient moon sanctuary. He returned to the Great Elixir Development Hall and let everyone know that he was back. Then he used the Divine Breath skill to change his appearance. He left the Great Elixir Development Hall and came to the passage that he had used to return from the Heaven realm. Lu Ming arrived at the Grand Lucidity Celestial Realm through the passage and sent a message to Dandan. Dandan was very cunning and had many tricks up his sleeve. Perhaps he had a way to find out. At the same time, Lu Ming transmitted a message to Bubble. Bubble's current understanding of the space-time laws was already extremely profound. She might be able to help. Not long after, Dandan and Bubbles arrived. Big brother Lu Ming. As soon as Bubbles saw Lu Ming, it hung around his neck. Lu Ming, why are you looking for me? Dandan asked casually. It had only been a short while since they last met, but Dandan's cultivation had improved again, reaching the 7 stars martial monarch realm. I need your help, Lu Ming said. Ha ha ha, I knew you needed my help. You found the right person. Tell me, what's the matter? Dandan grinned and said with a smug look on her face. Immediately, Lu Ming told Bubble about the matter. Someone actually wants to harm big brother Lu Ming. Bubble, go and destroy them. Bubble was extremely displeased after hearing that. Kid, you want me to search your soul to find out the mastermind and the headquarters of the Death God Nation? Dandan asked. That's right, Lu Ming nodded. It's very difficult to search your soul after placing a restriction in your soul. Dandan frowned. Didn't you say that I've found the right person? Lu Ming said in disdain. Dandan glared and said, What's wrong? Don't underestimate me. Let me tell you, although this matter is difficult, it's not difficult for me. However, I still need this little guy's help. After saying that, Dandan looked at Bubble. You need Bubble's help? Lu Ming was puzzled. Yes, we'll know when the time comes. Let's go. Dandan said. Wait a minute, just in case, let's find 2 more helpers. Lu Ming said. Then Lu Ming sent another message. Not long after, the void flashed and 2 figures appeared. These 2 figures were Tu Yi and Lei Yi. Lu Ming was worried that there would be experts from the heaven realm involved in this, so he found Tu Yi and Lei Yi just in case. Greetings, young master. Tu Yi and Lei Yi bowed. Immediately, Lu Ming told them about the matter. Tu Yi, Lei Yi, the 2 of you enter my small world first, so as not to alert the enemy. Lu Ming said. Okay. Tu Yi and Lei Yi nodded, then entered Lu Ming's small world. Lu Ming let Dandan enter the small world as well, only bringing Bubble along. They returned to the primordial realm through the passage, and quietly returned to the Great Pill Evolution Palace. After returning to the Great Pill Evolution Palace, Lu Ming stayed for more than 10 days before Lu Ming set off for Celestial City. He was deliberately giving the other party time to react. Lu Ming swaggered, not hiding his appearance and aura at all. Sure enough, on the way, he was assassinated again. This time, the Death God Nation sent out 3 experts, and their cultivation was shockingly high. 1 was a 4-star Great Emperor, and 2 were 3-star Great Emperors. Obviously, the last time the Death God Nation's assassination failed, and the 2 experts did not return, which made them cautious. This time they directly sent out 3 experts. With such a lineup, coupled with the assassination, even a 4-star Great Emperor would be in danger. There was a high possibility that he would die. Unfortunately, they met Lu Ming. This battle was almost a one-sided battle. That 4-star Great Emperor was smashed to death by Lu Ming with a few punches. The 2 3-star Great Emperors were also heavily injured by Lu Ming with a punch each. One of them had his cultivation crippled by Lu Ming, and all of his movements were sealed. He was then thrown to the ground. Lu Ming interrogated him, but the other party did not say a word. With a thought, Dandan's figure appeared. Dandan, what should we do? Lu Ming asked. Their souls have been set up with restrictions. It's very difficult to search their souls. As soon as a force approaches their souls will self-destruct. Therefore, my method does not go through their souls. In the brain of every living being, there are countless tiny meridians. Some of those meridians are called memory meridians, and have the ability to remember things. My method is to use a spell formation to control this person's consciousness, and then have Bubble use a time reversal magic to see what happened in the past through his memory nerves. Dandan explained. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Indeed, this method was definitely feasible. With Bubble's current control of the space-time law, there was no problem in using time reversal. You guys. At the side, the 3-star Great Emperor who was not crippled was shocked. He wanted to struggle, but he was directly trampled to death by Dandan. Then Dandan started to set up the array. Runes entered the other party's body one after another. After a while, the other party's eyes became lax as if he had become retarded. Little guy, do it. Dandan shouted. Chirp chirp. Bubble made a move, and the powerful power of time enveloped the black-robed man. Then Dandan waved his hand, and images appeared in the void. These images were the other party's memories. For example, the images of the other party ambushing Lu Ming, the images on the way here, and so on. Chapter 2390. Dandan used a formation to control the other party's consciousness. Together with Bubble's time reversal, she projected the other party's memories. It was as if time was flowing backward, and the memories appeared one by one. Soon Lu Ming saw an image. It was the man in black discussing something with several others. The celestial emperors of House Hung and Exalted. Lu Ming recognized them at a glance. They were the celestial emperors of House Hung, Exalted, and he. There were 2 others that Lu Ming didn't recognize. Apart from them, the rest were the men in black from the nation of death. It really is House Hung and he. A cold glint flashed through Lu Ming's eyes. And House Mu. Although there was no sound in the memories, he could discern what they were saying from the shape of their lips. House Hung, he, exalted heaven sect, and House Mu, I didn't go looking for you, but you've tried to kill me time and time again. There's no need for you to stay in this world. Lu Ming said coldly. The memories didn't stop, but continued to rewind. Soon Lu Ming's eyes lit up. He saw what he wanted to see. How to find the Nation of Death's headquarters. The Nation of Death's headquarters was an underground city, an ancient underground city. Moreover, it wasn't static but mobile. Every once in a while, it would move to another location. Moreover, the way to get to the underground city was very complicated. One step was all it took to find it. No wonder no one has found the Nation of Death's headquarters after so many years. Lu Ming murmured, his eyes filled with cold killing intent. He would destroy the Nation of Death's headquarters as well. Ah! Suddenly, the man in black roared and convulsed. He fell to the ground, foaming at the mouth. The restriction on his soul has been activated. His soul has been destroyed and his nerves are damaged. His memories can no longer be seen. Dandan said. That's enough. I've seen what I wanted to see. Lu Ming said. Bubble called it a day and sat on Lu Ming's shoulder to recover. Using time reversal consumed a lot of Bubble's energy. Lu Ming, do you want to deal with the Mu clan and Hung clan first? Or do you want to deal with the Nation of Death first? Dandan asked. Let's destroy the Mu family and Hung family first to avoid alerting the enemy. The Death God Nation isn't in a hurry. They definitely don't know that we've already found a way to reach their headquarters. Lu Ming sneered. Immediately, Lu Ming turned the corpses of the assassins into ashes. After that, he continued his journey toward Celestial City. Not long later, they arrived at Celestial City. When Lu Ming arrived at the Hung and He families, he found that the two families were already empty. Only a few people with low cultivation were left behind to guard them. They're leaving pretty fast. I reckon they've already gone to the Mu clan. Lu Ming sneered. Then his aura erupted. Boom. Lu Ming's aura was like that of an ancient beast. His chi and blood were boiling, and it was terrifying to the extreme. The terrifying aura was like a tsunami, pressing down on the countless palaces of the Hung family. How could the remaining people of the Hung family resist this kind of pressure? Each and every one of them knelt on the ground in fear, as if they were facing a god. Who is that? What a terrifying aura. It's Lu Ming, it's Lu Ming. What? Lu Ming, didn't they say that he can't become an emperor? This kind of aura is simply boundless and unfathomable. I'm afraid that Lu Ming has already become an emperor. Moreover, his cultivation is unfathomable. All around, people discovered the situation here, and began to discuss in shock. Clearly, Lu Ming had succeeded in his cultivation, and came back to find trouble with the Hung family. This news spread out like a hurricane. In the Celestial City, countless silhouettes flew towards the Hung clan. The surroundings of the Hung family were surrounded tightly for a moment. Strange, why didn't anyone from the Hung family come out? There's not a single strong aura in the Hung family. All of them are very weak. Could it be that the Hung family knows that Lu Ming is coming, and the experts of the Hung family have all retreated? It's very likely. Looks like the Hung family is going to be wiped out today. Many people speculated, and then became excited. The Hung family and the He family were the two strongest forces in Celestial City. With a great emperor overseeing them, they were usually arrogant and despotic. The other forces had to give them face. Now that they were really going to be wiped out, it was simply too satisfying. Everyone in the Hung family, listen up. From today onwards, the Hung family belongs to me. All of you leave. I'll give you 1 hour. Those who don't leave will be killed without mercy. At this time, Lu Ming opened his mouth, and his voice spread to every corner. All of them were weaklings. Lu Ming disdained to make a move, because the number of these weaklings was too great. Hundreds of thousands, millions of them. Lu Ming wasn't a bloodthirsty person, and he wouldn't kill these weaklings either. If he wanted to kill, he would kill the strongest group of people. Let's go. The people of the Hung family didn't hesitate. As soon as Lu Ming's voice fell, they rushed out of the Hung family one after another. Facing an enemy like Lu Ming, with their cultivation, it was impossible for them to resist. Only death awaited them if they resisted. The upper echelons of the Hung family had left. There was no need for them to protect the Hung family with their lives. Not long after, not a single person was left in the Hung family. Dandan, help me set up a formation. Lu Ming transmitted his voice to Dandan. All right. Dandan nodded. His figure moved and flew out. With a wave of his hands, endless runes spread out. This time, Dandan spent a total of 3 days to set up the formation. A huge formation was formed, enveloping the countless palaces in the Hung family. With Dandan's current cultivation, unless the Heavenly Emperor came, no one would be able to break the formation that he spent 3 days to set up. Following that, Lu Ming entered the small world and discussed with Xielwan, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master, and the others to send people to guard the Hung family. In the end, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master led the people of the Dragon God Valley to guard the He family. What a rich origin Qi! The Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the others came out of Lu Ming's small world. They looked around excitedly, feeling the origin Qi around them. Celestial City was the leader of the 9 great cultivation holy lands in the land of Yuan Mountain. The cultivation environment was many times better than Song Province. They were naturally excited. Moreover, the Hung family's territory was vast. Although there were many people in the Dragon God Valley, they could easily stay there. After the arrangements were made, Lu Ming came to the He family. The He family was the same as the Hung family. All the experts had left. Lu Ming easily occupied the He family and let Dandan set up a formation. Then Lu Ming let the people of the Dragon God Valley and his parents out to stay in the He family. Although there was the Enlightenment ancient tree in his small world, the heaven and earth origin Qi was far inferior to Celestial City. For the time being, the cultivation environment in Celestial City was better. Moreover, Lu Ming did not plan to let so many people stay in his small world. Because he had encountered many dangers along the way. He did not know what would happen in the future. If he encountered danger, the people in his small world would also be in danger. From now on, the Hung family and He family's properties will be under my name, Lu Ming. Chapter 2391. On this day, Lu Ming's voice spread throughout Celestial City. A terrifying aura filled every corner of Celestial City. Great Emperor. That was a powerful aura comparable to a great emperor. It was terrifying. Everyone was so shocked that they couldn't be any more shocked. Lu Ming had reached the Great Emperor realm in just a short period of time. He clan and Hung clan have done a lot of evil. Now that they have been eliminated, we will definitely assist the Great Emperor. Someone replied and addressed Lu Ming as Great Emperor. The properties left behind by He clan and Hung clan were very shocking. If he didn't use his strength to intimidate them, there would be people fighting for them. However, Valley Master Yunlong and Xielwan were too weak to compete with these forces in Celestial City. Lu Ming could only intimidate them with his strength. With his intimidation, these people would not dare to act rashly. Looks like I have to send some puppets from Chaos Palace to guard this place. Lu Ming thought in his heart. The puppets in Chaos Palace were numerous experts. Except for 2 Jin Yi and the rest who were Heavenly Emperors, the rest were Great Emperors, True Emperors, Void Emperors, Saints, etc. It was enough to send a few Great Emperor puppets to guard this place. Lu Ming stayed in Celestial City for a few days. When things were more or less settled down, Lu Ming went to Ancient Sun's sacred ground again. Daoyuo Heaven Sect was the same as Hung clan and He clan. Most of the higher-ups had left, leaving only a few weaker ones to guard this place. Lu Ming helped Ouyang Wushuang's clan to occupy Daoyuo Heaven Sect's territory. Hung clan, He clan, Daoyuo Heaven Sect. Do you think I can't do anything to you after you hide in Mu clan? Just nice, I'll wipe you all out. Lu Ming sneered. Killing intent flashed in his eyes. He stayed in Celestial City for a while and left a large amount of resources. Then he left Celestial City and headed towards the Divine Fate land. However, there was one more person on this trip, and that was Autumn Moon. He and Autumn Moon had not seen each other for many years, and Autumn Moon missed him dearly. Now that they had met, She naturally could not bear to part with him. With Lu Ming's current cultivation, the journey was very smooth. He crossed the sea and entered the divine fate land. Lu Ming did not stop, and went straight to Aeon City. The Mu family was one of the strongest forces in Aeon City. After Lu Ming, Autumn Moon, Bubbles and Dandan entered Aeon City, they didn't take action immediately. Instead, they found a place to stay. However, Lu Ming did not conceal his identity. His goal was to alert the Mu family and gather all the experts of the Mu family. Then he would wipe them out in one fell swoop. Mid-Autumn Moon, let's go out for a walk, Lu Ming said to Autumn Moon. Sure. Autumn Moon's face was full of smiles. She held Lu Ming's hand and walked out. The two of them strolled around Aeon City. Later, the two of them walked into a huge market. This was the largest market in Aeon City. There were all kinds of treasures inside, dazzling one's eyes. Before the 10 Earths Assembly battle, Lu Ming came to Aeon City. However, due to the pressure from the 10 Earths Assembly battle, Lu Ming did not have the chance to walk around to his heart's content. This was the first time he came to this market. Mid-Autumn Moon, what do you want? Just tell me, Lu Ming said with a smile. Sure. Autumn Moon blinked her big eyes a few times, and then looked around. Later, they walked into a divine weapon shop. It sold all kinds of weapons, such as sacred weapons, void overlord weapons, and true overlord weapons. Young master, I want that. Autumn Moon looked for a while, and pointed at a hairpin. This hairpin was made of a special kind of jade. It looked very exquisite. This young lady has good taste. This hairpin is made of 10,000-year-old warm jade. Wearing it will not only beautify your face, but also help in cultivation and comprehending the laws. It's a top-grade void overlord weapon. A tall and thin middle-aged man said with a smile. How many origin stones? I want it. Lu Ming said. 5,000 supreme-grade origin stones. The tall and thin middle-aged man said with a smile. 5,000 supreme-grade origin stones is so expensive. Young master, I don't want it. Autumn Moon was shocked when she heard that. 5,000 supreme-grade origin stones were supreme-grade origin stones, the highest grade of origin stones. Even great emperors and heavenly emperors used supreme-grade origin stones to cultivate. It was obvious how precious they were. 5,000 was indeed a high price. However, to Lu Ming, 5,000 supreme-grade origin stones were just a drop in the ocean. Silly girl, since you like it, I'll buy it no matter how expensive it is. Lu Ming smiled and waved his hand. A storage ring appeared. He threw it to the tall and thin middle-aged man and said, Shopkeeper, 5,000 supreme-grade origin stones. The tall and thin middle-aged man took the ring and scanned it with his spiritual consciousness. He smiled and then handed the hairpin to Lu Ming. As soon as Lu Ming took the hairpin, a voice was heard. Wait a minute, I want this hairpin. As the voice was heard, a group of people walked over. The leader was a young woman. She was very beautiful, but she was not as beautiful as Autumn Moon. Behind the young woman was a young woman dressed like a maid and two old men. When he saw the young woman, the shopkeeper's expression changed. He then smiled apologetically and said, So it's Miss Dongfang. It's an honor to have Miss Dongfang here. Shopkeeper, sell that hairpin to me, the young woman said in a commanding tone. The shopkeeper smiled bitterly and said, Miss Dongfang, you're too late. This young man has already bought the hairpin. The young lady responded coldly and looked at Lu Ming with a hint of arrogance. She lifted her neck and continued in a commanding tone. Give this hairpin to me. How many primordial stones do you want? I'll give them to you. I'm sorry, this hairpin is not for sale. Lu Ming said with a smile. Not for sale? The young woman's eyes narrowed and flashed with displeasure. She said, You want to raise the price of the origin stones, right? Tell me, how many origin stones do you want? I said I'm not for sale. I don't lack origin stones, Lu Ming said. Kid, what did you say? My young lady has her eyes on it. You have to sell it even if you don't want to. You probably don't know who my young lady is. She's Dongfang Shuiyu, the #1 genius in the divine land. She's Xianlin's fiancée. Do you know? The servant girl behind the young lady jumped out and scolded, looking at Lu Ming threateningly. The number one genius in the divine land? Lu Ming muttered. It seemed that Tian Ming, Yuan Xian, and the others had been in the heaven realm for decades. A new batch of geniuses had appeared in the divine land. Are you afraid now? Let me tell you, young Master Xian Lin is the young master of the Xian family in Aeon City. If you don't respect him today, don't even think about leaving Aeon City. The maid continued to shout. The young woman, who was Dongfang Shuiyu, showed a proud look. Xian Lin, Dongfang Shuiyu, I've never heard of you. You can get lost now. Lu Ming said Dandan, then turned around and walked toward the mid-autumn moon. I'll bring you the mid-autumn moon. Chapter 2392. Mid-autumn moon was already extraordinary. With the hairpin, she looked even more beautiful. Coupled with the blush on her cheeks, she looked even more alluring. Dongfang Shuiyu, who was at the side, was trembling with anger. Lu Ming actually told her to get lost? Who was she? She was a genius of her generation, and her fiancé was the number one genius of the divine land. Lu Ming actually told her to get lost? Courting death. He was courting death. Dongfang Shuiyu screamed in her heart. Especially after seeing mid-autumn moon's beauty, she went crazy with jealousy. Women were naturally jealous. Dongfang Shuiyu had always been proud of her beauty. However, compared to mid-autumn moon, she was completely outshone by autumn moon. Bitch, how dare you wear my hairpin? I'll tear your face apart. Dongfang Shuiyu screamed. Her body was like lightning as she pounced towards mid-autumn moon. Her claws were like knives as she clawed towards autumn moon's face. Get lost. Lu Ming shouted coldly as he slapped her. Lu Ming's speed was so fast that Dongfang Shuiyu couldn't dodge at all. She was slapped by Lu Ming. Slap. A crisp sound rang out. Dongfang Shuiyu screamed as her body flew out and fell to the ground. Her face was swollen. Of course, Lu Ming had held back. Otherwise, she wouldn't even be left with ashes. Dongfang Shuiyu was stunned. Everyone else in the shop was stunned. Lu Ming actually dared to slap Dongfang Shuiyu. Did he want to die? Kill him for me, kill this bastard. Dongfang Shuiyu was stunned for a moment before she reacted and screamed. Kid, you're courting death. Kneel down and admit your mistake. There were two old men who came with Dongfang Shuiyu. At this moment, one of them shouted and pounced towards Lu Ming. A terrifying aura exploded and a strong pressure pressed towards Lu Ming. Everyone else at the side retreated. Martial Emperor. This old man was a martial emperor. However, he was only a one-star illusionary martial emperor. He was the weakest martial emperor. Scram. Lu Ming shouted coldly and kicked out. His speed was as fast as lightning, and it landed on the opponent's face. The old man also screamed and flew out, following in Dongfang Shuiyu's footsteps. His face was swollen like a pig's. So strong. Everyone was shocked. Killing a one-star martial monarch with a single move. Such strength was impressive. Moreover, Lu Ming did not look very old. There were not many people who could reach the martial emperor realm at his age in the entire divine fate land. Scram. If you don't scram, I'll kill you. Lu Ming coldly shouted, and a chilling murderous intent filled the air. Lu Ming, he's Lu Ming. Suddenly, someone shouted from the side. Lu Ming had taken first place in the 10 Lands meeting, and was very famous. Many people had seen Lu Ming before, and now he was finally recognized. What? Lu Ming? Which Lu Ming? Nonsense, of course it's that Lu Ming who defeated everyone and took first place in the first 10 Lands meeting. It's him. He disappeared for decades. I didn't expect him to appear again. All of a sudden, the surrounding people discussed and sized up this legendary figure curiously. Lu Ming's reputation was very well known. In the divine fate land, as long as one's cultivation was slightly higher, they would have heard of him. He took first place in the first 10 Lands meeting. His talent was unparalleled, but he could not become a martial emperor. So you're Lu Ming, a cripple who can never become a martial emperor. How dare you hit me? If you have the ability, don't leave. I'll tear you into pieces. At this moment, Dongfang Shuiyu screamed again. Oh, is that so? I'd like to see how you're going to tear me into pieces. I'll wait for you here. Lu Ming said and sat down on a chair at the side. You cripple trash, just you wait. Dongfang Shuiyu screamed a few times and hurriedly left with her people. Young Master Lu, you'd better leave quickly. Dongfang Shuiyu will definitely go to the Xian family to look for Xianlin. The Xian family is one of the strongest forces in Aeon City. Their strength is unfathomable. The shopkeeper hurriedly came to warn him. No worries. Lu Ming smiled. It was better to blow things up. Blow things up and let the Mu family prepare. Lu Ming wanted to give the other party time to prepare. Seeing that he could not persuade him, the shopkeeper shook his head and retreated. Lu Ming and Autumn Moon waited leisurely. News of what happened here quickly spread. The first place in the Ten Lands meeting, Lu Ming reappeared. Moreover, he even slapped Dongfang Shuiyu in public. This was no small matter. Dongfang Shuiyu's fiancé was the #1 prodigy in the Divine Fate Land. Would the two of them clash? Moreover, the Xian family would not let the matter rest. How should Lu Ming deal with it? Immediately, countless people who heard the news rushed over and surrounded the shop to watch. Xianlin is here. Lu Ming did not wait for long before exclamations came from outside. A group of people stepped on the air. The leader was a young man. He was very handsome and wore a black iron battlesuit. He looked mighty and extraordinary. This person was the #1 prodigy in the Divine Fate Land, Xianlin. Dongfang Shuiyu followed beside Xianlin. At this time, the swelling on her face had subsided. Her face was full of tears, looking like she had suffered a great grievance. Behind them were some people who were all experts of the Xian family. Lu Ming, get out here. Xianlin came to the door of the shop and roared. 3-star illusionary emperor, about 50 years old, far inferior to Tianming and the rest. Lu Ming did not go out. With a sweep of his spiritual consciousness, he knew Xianlin's cultivation and age. Reaching 3-star illusionary emperor at the age of 50 was indeed far inferior to Tianming and Yuan Xin. Autumn Moon, let's go and meet the #1 prodigy. Lu Ming smiled faintly and walked out of the shop with Qiuyu. All of a sudden, all eyes fell on Lu Ming. Lu Ming. Xianlin's gaze also fell on Lu Ming. How do you want to settle this? Lu Ming looked at Xianlin. Fight with me. Xianlin stepped out and his voice spread far away, revealing a strong fighting spirit. Many people's eyes lit up. Xianlin wanted to challenge Lu Ming. One was the #1 prodigy now, the other was the #1 prodigy decades ago. Who was stronger between the two of them? Who do you think is stronger between Lu Ming and Xianlin? It's hard to say, but I think it's Xianlin. Lu Ming can't become an emperor. His cultivation is stuck at the quasi-emperor realm. No matter how much time has passed, it's difficult for him to improve. According to Lu Ming's strength back then, he can't be a match for Xianlin. That's right, I think so too. Many people discussed and felt that Lu Ming was not a match for Xianlin. The Sky Emperor said personally that Lu Ming could not become an emperor. This could not be wrong. Although Lu Ming was powerful back then, he could only fight with the top talents of 2-star illusionary emperors. On the other hand, Xianlin's cultivation was a 3-star illusionary emperor. The law that he mastered was also the strongest law. His combat strength was extremely powerful. It was not difficult for him to suppress Lu Ming back then. Chapter 2393. Fight with me? I don't want to bully the weak. Lu Ming shook his head slightly. Xianlin's cultivation was not worth mentioning in his eyes. Lu Ming, you don't dare to fight, do you? Xianlin took a step forward in an aggressive manner. During the Battle of 10 Lands, he was still young and his cultivation was insufficient. He couldn't compete with Lu Ming and the rest, and that was something he regretted. He was ambitious and wanted to defeat Lu Ming to prove that if he was in that era, he could also become the #1 genius. If you want to fight, I'll fight with you. Autumn Moon said. Lu Ming, are you going to hide behind a woman? You are indeed useless. Useless. You actually won the first battle of 10 Lands. What a joke. Attack, I'll defeat you in 10 moves. Xianlin shouted coldly and kept stepping forward. His powerful aura kept pressuring Lu Ming. In the end, he threw a punch and a giant tortoise was formed. It was as big as a mountain and it pressed down on Lu Ming. "Since you want to fight, I'll play with you," Lu Ming said calmly and stepped out. With a swoosh, Lu Ming charged toward Xianlin. Boom. Without seeing Lu Ming attack, Lu Ming charged past and Xianlin's giant tortoise exploded. Lu Ming didn't stop, and he appeared in front of Xianlin in an instant. The two of them were less than a meter apart. Xianlin's pupils constricted and he roared in horror. He retreated frantically. But suddenly, he realized that he couldn't move at all. The space around him seemed to have been locked down. Lu Ming reached out and grabbed Xianlin's throat. Everyone couldn't help but open their eyes wide. What was going on? They didn't see Lu Ming attack and there wasn't any powerful aura. How did Lu Ming grab Xianlin's throat? It was as if Xianlin was waiting there and didn't move at all for Lu Ming to grab. Everyone couldn't figure it out. "With your strength, you want to challenge me?" Lu Ming said softly, his voice full of disdain. Xianlin struggled frantically, his eyes flashing with terror. Scram! Lu Ming swung his hand and Xianlin's body was smashed into the ground. With a loud bang, a huge crater appeared on the ground. Xianlin lay in the crater and vomited blood. Everyone else was dumbfounded. One move, no, Lu Ming didn't even make a move, and Xianlin was defeated. He couldn't even withstand a single blow. Wasn't Lu Ming unable to become a great emperor? How could he have such powerful battle prowess? Could it be that Lu Ming had already become a great emperor? Thinking of this, many people's hearts beat wildly. Lu Ming already grasped many laws below martial emperor. He even grasped different strongest laws. This was heaven-defying. Even the celestial emperor asserted that Lu Ming would never be able to break through and become a celestial emperor in his lifetime. However, if Lu Ming could create a miracle and become a celestial emperor, how powerful would his battle prowess be? "Lu Ming, I want you dead. Kill him." Below, Xianlin screamed hysterically. He was the #1 genius in the divine fate land. He had never been defeated in a battle among his peers. He had never known the taste of failure. Just a moment ago, he had come in a domineering manner and said that he would defeat Lu Ming in 10 moves. However, now he was easily defeated by Lu Ming. He couldn't even withstand a single blow. He couldn't accept such an outcome at all. He was furious and wanted to chop Lu Ming into pieces. A flower in a greenhouse can't withstand the wind and waves. Lu Ming shook his head, revealing a look of disdain. It seemed that Lu Ming's generation was the real golden generation. There were many geniuses and they competed with each other. Many of them had strong minds and had experienced many storms. However, there were fewer geniuses in this generation. Xianlin's path had been too smooth. Although his talents were good, his mind was lacking compared to Tianming and the others. Once he met with failure and setbacks, he would immediately collapse. He couldn't bear it. Kill him for me," Xianlin screamed. Lu Ming's words had pierced his heart. "Lu Ming, kneel down and accept your death." The few people who came with Xianlin dashed toward Lu Ming, emitting a terrifying aura. True emperors. 3 of them were true emperors. They were surrounded by godly light and looked like deities. "Kneel down." The terrifying pressure of the true emperors pressed down on Lu Ming, wanting to force Lu Ming to his knees. "Pressure my ass. All of you get lost." Lu Ming hollered and threw a punch out. The void exploded as the terrifying fist energy rushed towards the 3 true emperors. The 3 true emperors were almost scared to death when they felt Lu Ming's terrifying fist energy. That kind of power was simply not something they could contend against. They wanted to retreat, but it was too late. Boom. The force of the fist crushed over, and the bodies of the 3 people exploded. Then, under the force of the fist, they turned into flying flames. The scene suddenly quieted down. Not a single sound could be heard. Everyone's eyes were wide open in disbelief. 3 true emperors. That was 3 true emperors. How could Lu Ming turn them into ashes with one punch? How was that possible? How could Lu Ming's combat ability be so powerful? Dongfang Xueyu stood there in a daze, her mouth slightly open as if she was in a dream. Xianlin was also stunned. His eyes were filled with fear and disbelief. "Let me send you on your way." Lu Ming looked at Xianlin and stomped down. A giant foot formed by the power of the world stomped down on Xianlin. "Ah!" Xianlin screamed in fear. At this moment, a figure flashed as fast as lightning and swept Xianlin away before Lu Ming's giant foot stomped down. A white-haired old man in a white robe appeared in the distance. He was holding Xianlin, who was still in shock. "Great Emperor," Lu Ming whispered. "It's one of the Xian clan's doyen, a great emperor. The Xian clan's great emperor has appeared. I think he's going to deal with Lu Ming." Lu Ming is too impulsive. The Xian clan is one of the strongest forces in Aeon City. Let's see how Lu Ming deals with the great emperor. A few people spoke out, recognizing this elder. Xianlin was overjoyed when he came back to his senses. "Doyen, haha, you came at the right time. Kill Lu Ming for me. Kill that bastard," Xianlin shouted. Today, Lu Ming had humiliated him. He must kill Lu Ming to vent his anger. The Xian clan's doyen emitted a powerful aura. That was the aura of a great emperor. Within a radius of 10,000 miles, it was filled with terrifying pressure. Those with weaker cultivation had to kneel down. Ordinary people were too weak when facing a great emperor. They couldn't contend with him at all. "It seems like you want to die too." Out of everyone's expectations, Lu Ming's face was calm as he spoke indifferently. He was actually threatening a great emperor. Everyone was dumbfounded. They originally thought that Lu Ming would be afraid when facing a great emperor. They thought that he would be terrified and run away. They never expected that Lu Ming would actually threaten a great emperor. Lu Ming's eyes flashed with cold light as he looked at the doyen. The Xian clan's doyen's heart beat wildly as though he was being targeted by a terrifying beast. In the next moment he would be torn apart and killed. This feeling shocked him greatly. What's going on? What a terrifying feeling. Could it be that Lu Ming's strength is far above mine? No, I must retreat today. Chapter 2394. Retreat. Xian family's grand elder shouted. Xianlin and Dongfang Shuiyu, who was in a daze, retreated and disappeared in an instant. They retreated? All around, everyone was dumbfounded. They thought that Xian family's grand elder would make a move. They did not expect him to retreat. Why would Xian family's grand elder retreat? Was he afraid of Lu Ming and did not dare to make a move? That's impossible, right? No one could figure it out. Lu Ming did not pursue. His purpose of coming to Aeon City was not Xian family but Mu family. If Xian family did not want to die, he would not bother. Mu family should have gathered all their forces this time. I hope Hung family, He family and Daoyuo Heaven sect are also here. Don't let me come here in vain. Lu Ming looked in the direction of Mu family and chuckled. In the crowd, some people's eyes flickered and then left. These people were naturally people from Mu family. Next, Lu Ming and Qiuyu strolled for a while, and then returned to their residence. The news of Lu Ming's return, defeating Xianlin in one move, killing 3 true emperors with one punch, and even scaring away a great emperor from Xian family spread quickly. Not only did it spread throughout Aeon City, but it also spread to every corner of Divine Fate Land. Countless people who heard the news were shocked. Lu Ming had broken through to Emperor Realm. Many people knew that Lu Ming had broken through to Martial Emperor Realm. The assertion of Heavenly Emperor was broken. Next, would Xian family make a move on Lu Ming? Many people guessed. As for Lu Ming's residence, it naturally attracted more people's attention. Many people were watching Lu Ming's residence at all times, concerned about the development of the situation. There were even many people who rushed over from other places. In Xian family's meeting hall, a group of people was discussing matters. These were the higher-ups of Xian family. Most of them were Great Emperor Realm experts. We must kill Lu Ming. Fellow Grand Elders, please do it. Xianlin shouted. His eyes were blood-red and filled with ferocious killing intent. During this period of time, the news of him being easily defeated by Lu Ming had spread like wildfire. His reputation had plummeted, and was no longer what it used to be. He hated Lu Ming so much that he wanted nothing more than to grind Lu Ming's bones into dust. I think so too. We need to kill Lu Ming. Another person spoke. Old Nine, tell me, why did you retreat before? At the very top was an extremely old man. At this moment, he was looking at the doyen who had saved Xianlin. The Grand Elder from before was the 9th Grand Elder of the Xian family. Elder 9 frowned and pondered for a moment before he said, I can sense a terrifying aura from Lu Ming's body. I have a feeling that if I were to make a move, I would most likely die in Lu Ming's hands. What? Everyone else was shocked, and Xianlin widened his eyes in disbelief. How is that possible? Could it be that Lu Ming could threaten the Great Emperor? Even if he has broken through to the Martial Emperor realm, it is impossible for him to break through to the Great Emperor realm so quickly. Impossible. Xianlin found it hard to accept and shook his head repeatedly. Could it be that Lu Ming has really reached such a shocking level? The other Grand Elders whispered, and their gazes were solemn. The higher one's cultivation, the more accurate their intuition would be. A great emperor's intuition would generally not be wrong. Lu Ming cannot be judged by common sense. Once he breaks through to the Martial Emperor realm, he will be like a dragon entering the sea. There will be no restrictions. It is not impossible for him to have the combat strength of a great emperor. I suggest that we do not take action against Lu Ming for the time being. Let's observe the situation first. The oldest Grand Elder said. I agree. I agree too. The other Grand Elders nodded. Although the remaining Grand Elders and Xianlin wanted to take action, most of the Grand Elders did not agree and they had no choice. Time flew by and 5 days passed. At Lu Ming's residence. Brother Lu Ming, I have already found out that the Hung family, He family, and Daoyuo Heaven sect are all in the Mu family. Moreover, almost all the great emperors of the Mu family have returned to the Mu family headquarters. They seem to be on guard. Bubbles conveyed some information to Lu Ming. These days, Bubbles and Dandan went out to investigate the Mu family, and finally found something. Lu Ming came to Aeon City. Needless to say, the 2 groups of assassins from the Death Nation had failed. Lu Ming's strength frightened the Mu family. It was natural for them to gather experts to deal with the Mu family. It's time. The Mu family, Hung family, He family, and Daoyuo Heaven sect will be destroyed today, Lu Ming said indifferently. Then he strode out and headed in the direction of the Mu family. Lu Ming's action naturally alarmed those who were paying attention to Lu Ming. Where is Lu Ming going? He is full of murderous intent. Is he going to kill his way to the Xian family? Impossible. No, this direction is not the Xian family. In the dark, many people were discussing and following behind Lu Ming secretly. Not long after, there were mountains and cranes in front of them. There were countless palaces. This was the Mu family. Boom. Lu Ming suddenly took a step forward. In the sky, endless power gathered and formed a giant foot. It covered the sky and the sun, and stomped on the Mu family headquarters. The mountains trembled under the giant foot. Lu Ming was going to attack the Mu family? Everyone who followed him was dumbfounded. Their hearts were beating wildly. The Mu family's strength was stronger than the Xian family. What shocked them even more was Lu Ming's strength. This foot was like the foot of a deity. It was unbelievably powerful. Great Emperor. This was the strength of a great emperor. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Lu Ming actually had the strength of a great emperor. No wonder the patriarch of the Xian family had retreated. Silhouettes flew out from the Mu family's palace. When they saw the huge foot, they were in a state of panic, and they flew everywhere. Impudent. A long roar came from the Mu family. A giant palm flew out from the Mu family, and turned into a giant palm. It collided with Lu Ming's giant foot. Boom. The mountains trembled and the void collapsed. Terrifying energy swept out in all directions. The giant foot and the giant hand dissipated together. In the sky above the Mu family, a middle-aged man appeared. His aura was extremely terrifying. The Mu family's patriarch. In the distance, someone whispered and recognized this person. Heavens, the Mu family's patriarch is said to be a 3-star great emperor. He just blocked Lu Ming's attack. Lu Ming has become so strong. Quick, spread the news. Something big has happened. Lu Ming is going to attack the Mu family. Quick. Many people discussed in shock. The news was spread out one by one. Aeon City was in an uproar. Countless people rushed towards the Mu family. When the Xian family received the news, they were also stunned. They then sent experts to the Mu family to monitor the situation. Whoosh. 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 After the Mu family's patriarch appeared, many figures rushed out from the depths of the Mu family. Each of these figures exuded a vast and boundless aura. The pressure of the great Tao filled the world. These were all great emperors. There were more than 20 of them. Chapter 2395. More than 20 great emperors from the Mu clan lined up in a row. Their auras were as vast as the sea, filling the entire Aeon city with a terrifying pressure. Such a lineup made the onlookers change their expressions and tremble with fear. However, Lu Ming looked indifferent, as if he did not see so many great emperors. He glanced at the people of the Mu clan and frowned, saying, "Don't hide anymore. People of those clans, come out." The clans he mentioned were naturally the Hung clan, the He clan and the Daoyuo Heaven sect. However, the master of the Mu clan sneered and did not answer Lu Ming's question. Instead he asked, "Lu Ming, today you attacked the Mu clan for no reason. Do you think we are easy to bully? If you don't give an explanation today, you don't have to leave. Don't you know why I'm here? You're really good at pretending." The Mu clan, the Hung clan, the He clan and the Daoyuo Heaven sect hired people from the Death Kingdom to kill me. Today's account should be settled properly. Lu Ming's voice spread all over the place. What? The Mu clan hired people from the Death Kingdom to kill Lu Ming? Is it true? It's very likely. Lu Ming killed the strongest genius of the Mu clan, Mu Yang. This is a deadly feud. How can the Mu clan let it go? Indeed, I'm afraid it's true. Otherwise, Lu Ming would not kill his way to the Mu clan. Lu Ming is really bold. He actually killed his way to the Mu clan. What do you think the result will be today? It's hard to say. If Lu Ming is not sure, he would not dare to come here. However, the Mu clan has been passed down for countless years, and its foundation is unfathomable. The result is hard to say. Lu Ming's words caused an uproar and many people were talking about it. Nonsense. If the Mu clan wants to kill you, why would we hire people from the Death Kingdom? We can send anyone to kill you. The master of the Mu clan sneered. Any random person can kill me? Then I'd like to see if the Mu clan has this ability. Lu Ming sneered. Having said that, he stepped out and headed toward the Mu family. Bang! Bang! Every step Lu Ming took caused the void to vibrate continuously. Rays of light radiated from Lu Ming's body. That was the radiance of the laws. 1 type, 2 types, 3 types, all sorts of laws appeared one after another. When more than 10 types of laws appeared, the scene was dead silent. Everyone was tongue-tied, and their eyes almost popped out of their sockets. Oh my God, what did I see? The laws of primal chaos, the laws of death, the laws of life, and the laws of reincarnation. No, there's also the eternal law, the void law, the primordial law, and the spacetime law. 8 of them. He has mastered 8 supreme laws. There are also 9 types of monarch Tao laws and 17 types of laws. He has mastered 17 types of laws. Moreover, he has cultivated all 17 types of laws to the limit and reached the 3rd realm. How is this possible? How is this possible? Freak, this is a freak. When they saw Lu Ming reveal all the laws, everyone in the surroundings shouted hysterically, unable to control their emotions. This could no longer be described as shock. Their emotions were 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times stronger than shock. The truth of cultivation was that a person could only master 1 type of supreme law. Moreover, not everyone could master the supreme law. Those who could master 1 type of supreme law were the top geniuses in the world. But now, there was a person who not only mastered the supreme law, but also not 1, 2, or 3 types, but 8 types. This was not only breaking the truth, but also trampling the truth into pieces. One could imagine how everyone felt. The people of the Mu clan were tongue-tied, their eyes were wide open, and they were horrified. In the depths of the Mu clan, the experts of the Hung clan, He clan, and Daoyuo Heaven sect who were hiding in the dark were almost scared to death when they saw this scene. Lu Ming was shrouded in 17 types of light. He stood in the air like a god descending from the heavens. Come, let's see who can kill me. Lu Ming's eyes shot out 2 rays of divine light as he stared at the people of the Mu clan. So what if you have mastered 17 types of laws? You're still in the true emperor realm. Let me kill you. A tall and sturdy old man stepped out from the Mu clan like a lion. This old man's cultivation had reached the 3-star Great Sovereign realm. The Mu clan did not dare to underestimate Lu Ming. Although Lu Ming looked like a true Emperor realm expert, he had mastered 17 types of laws. Most importantly, 8 of them were supreme laws. With the combination of so many laws, Lu Ming's combat strength could not be measured by common sense. It was possible for him to fight against a 1-star Great Sovereign, or even a 2-star Great Sovereign. But they had sent out a 3-star Great Sovereign. The difference between a true Emperor and a 3-star Great Sovereign was too great. They did not believe that Lu Ming could kill a 3-star Great Sovereign. Even if the 3-star Great Sovereign could not defeat him, he could at least keep his life and test out Lu Ming's true combat strength. Bang! Bang! The old man, who was like a lion, had a crazy aura. He stepped on the void and dashed toward Lu Ming at an increasingly fast speed. Slash! Suddenly, a saber appeared in the old man's hand, and he slashed towards Lu Ming. The saber light was shocking and lit up the sky as if it was going to split the sky of Aeon City into 2. Kill! Lu Ming said indifferently. Before his voice died away, a long spear appeared in his hand. It was a long spear that was formed by the laws and the power of the world. Lu Ming's arm muscles bulged, and he threw the long spear out. Swoosh! The long spear flew out like a ray of light, faster than lightning. This long spear not only contained the power of Lu Ming's power of the world, the power of the laws and the power of his physical body. The moment the long spear collided with the saber light was shattered. The long spear did not slow down, and continued to stab towards the old man. The 3-star Great Sovereign of the Mu clan did not expect that his all-out attack could not withstand a single blow from Lu Ming. He was stunned for a moment and his fate was sealed. Puff! Lu Ming's long spear directly pierced through his dantian, and destroyed his small world. Together with his body, he flew out into the depths of the Mu family, and crashed into a hall. Boom! The palace directly exploded, and a large group of figures flew out from inside. These people were from the Hung clan, He clan, and Daoyuo heaven sect. The 3-star Great Sovereign of the Mu clan was pierced through by Lu Ming's long spear. He was nailed to the ground and screamed in agony. My cultivation base, my cultivation base. The shrill screams were heard all over the place. Hiss, the whole place was filled with gasps. A 3-star Great Sovereign was nailed to the ground by Lu Ming, and his cultivation was destroyed. This scene was too shocking. A 3-star Great Sovereign could not withstand a single blow. How could this be? Had Lu Ming's combat strength reached such a terrifying level? Everyone felt like they were dreaming. In the crowd in the distance, there were people from the Xian clan who were watching. There were several founding elders, including Xian Lin and Dongfang Shuiyu. At this moment, they were completely petrified and could not stop gasping. How could this be? How could this be? Xian Lin was like a fool and kept whispering. Chapter 2396. Hung clan, He clan, and Daoyuo heaven sect are all here. Lu Ming looked at the Hung family and the He family, revealing a cold smile at the corners of his lips. People from the Mu family, including the Hung family, the He family, and the Daoyuo heaven sect, all looked terrible. Their eyes were full of shock. Lu Ming, you crippled the cultivation of the Mu family's great emperor for no reason. You must pay the price today. The great emperor of Mu clan roared. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, more than 20 great emperors from Mu clan struck at the same time. More than 20 great emperors from Mu clan, ranging from 1-star great emperors to 5-star great emperors, struck at the same time. The void instantly collapsed and terrifying attacks were directed at Lu Ming. Lu Ming's combat ability was far beyond their imagination, and they were terrified. They wanted to kill Lu Ming in an instant, so that he would not be left with a corpse. Buzz. Lu Ming's muscles suddenly vibrated, vibrating billions of times in an instant. The void collapsed and Lu Ming's figure dashed out. The moment Lu Ming dashed out, he unleashed the 6-feathered divine wings to increase his speed. In an instant, he dodged the other party's joint attack, and charged toward the Mu family's great emperors. Gather, gather. The master of Mu clan roared. More than 20 great emperors from Mu clan gathered together and formed a circle. This way, they could prevent Lu Ming from attacking them one by one. Is it useful to join forces? Lu Ming's cold voice resounded, and a long spear appeared in his hand again. However, this long spear was not formed by Lu Ming's order. It was a real long spear. Great Spear of Desolation. Heaven Weapon. Although Lu Ming could not display the power of Heaven Wei in the Heaven Weapon, the material of the Great Spear of Desolation was sturdy and indestructible. It could allow Lu Ming to display all of his strength and enhance Lu Ming's combat strength. Boom. Lu Ming held the Great Spear of Desolation and unleashed his strength to the extreme. He swept the spear out. The sky continued to explode as the Great Baron's spear swept up an endless void storm towards the 20 over great emperors from the Mu clan. The might of the spear was shocking to the extreme. It was as if the spear was going to crush all 20 or so great emperors of the Mu clan. Join hands. The head of the Mu family roared. All the great emperors of the Mu family joined forces and blasted out various attacks toward Lu Ming. Among the 20 over great emperors of the Mu clan, there were a few 5-star great emperors with astounding strength. With so many people joining forces, they could definitely contend with a 6-star great emperor. Boom. Their attacks collided with Lu Ming's long spear. A terrifying explosion erupted, and the force swept out in all directions. Retreat, retreat. The spectators frantically retreated to create enough distance between them. Most of the spectators were not great emperors, so they didn't dare to get too close. Otherwise, they would be killed if Lu Ming and the others got involved. After the explosion, Lu Ming's body shook and he retreated. However, the 20 over experts of the Mu clan also retreated. Some of the weaker ones even spat out mouthfuls of blood and were severely injured. Lu Ming's current combat strength, physical body, power of the realm, power of law, and the Great Baron's spear were enough to contend with a 6-star great emperor. How could the 1-star and 2-star great emperors withstand a head-on collision? Again, Lu Ming retreated a few steps and took a step in the void to stabilize himself. With the Great Baron's spear in his hand, he charged towards the great emperors of the Mu clan again. Boom. This time, Lu Ming held the Great Baron's spear with both hands and smashed it down with the weight of Mount Tai. Boom. The Great Baron's spear rapidly enlarged and became as heavy as a mountain, as if it could crush everything. The 20 over great emperors of the Mu clan roared and unleashed their strongest attacks towards the Great Baron's spear. The attacks from both sides collided once again. Buzz. The Great Baron's spear vibrated continuously and was repelled away. However, the people of the Mu clan were in a worse state. A few of the 1-star great emperors trembled violently, and their bodies cracked from the terrifying recoil. Their bodies were covered in blood and their auras were weak. They were unable to continue fighting. Heal yourselves first. The Mu clan's patriarch roared. However, Lu Ming's third attack arrived at this moment. This collision caused the Mu clan's 2-star great emperors to tremble violently and almost die from the recoil. They were unable to continue fighting. Again, Lu Ming was like a martial emperor war god as his attacks rained down like a storm. The number of great emperors of the Mu clan was decreasing, and they were no match for Lu Ming. Towards the end, they were at a disadvantage in every collision. Towards the end, even the 3-star great emperors and 4-star great emperors were injured. Even the 5-star great emperors were pale and gasping for breath. The hearts of the people who were watching the battle from all directions were in a perilous situation. They were shocked to the extreme. Lu Ming's combat strength was too strong. He was completely suppressing the Mu clan. Was the Mu clan going to be annihilated today? In the depths of the Mu clan, the Hung clan's great emperors, He clan's great emperors and Tian Luo great emperors were pale, and their eyes were filled with disbelief. They found it hard to believe that Lu Ming's combat strength had reached such a level. With Lu Ming's current combat strength, he could kill them in an instant if he wanted to. How can this be? They roared in their hearts as they could not accept this fact. Boom. Boom. Lu Ming continued to attack and his attacks became more and more violent. In the end, the Mu clan's 5-star great emperors were injured and were no match for Lu Ming. Kill. Suddenly Lu Ming's attack changed. He went around the 5-star great emperors, and the great desolate spear shook violently. In an instant, dozens of spear lights were shot out. His target was the low-level Great Emperors. Not good, we blocked it. The Mu clan's high-level Great Emperors' faces changed drastically. They unleashed their full strength in an attempt to block Lu Ming's attack. However, no matter how hard they tried, they could only block half of the spear lights. The remaining spear lights continued to pierce towards the low-level Great Emperors. The low-level Great Emperors, especially the 1-star and 2-star Great Emperors, tried their best to block, but it was useless. The 1-star and 2-star Great Emperors' foreheads were pierced by the spear lights and their souls were destroyed. Dead. The Mu clan's 1-star and 2-star Great Emperors were instantly annihilated. A total of 8 of them died. 8 Great Emperors were instantly annihilated. This caused everyone to be shocked, and at the same time, it also caused the people of the Mu clan to be furious and filled with murderous intent. Lu Ming, I want you to die without a burial place. The Mu clan's patriarch roared. His eyes were bloodshot and his face was ferocious. 8 Great Emperors. How great of a loss was this? His heart was bleeding. Their Mu clan had been passed down for countless years. They had relied on a long time to accumulate so many Great Emperors. However, 8 of them had died in an instant. This was an unbearable loss. Now you know how to feel heartache. If you knew this would happen, you wouldn't have thought of this day when your Mu clan wanted to kill me. At this moment, in this world, you won't be the only ones killing others. Others won't kill you. Lu Ming said coldly. There was no pity or sympathy in his voice. He and the Mu clan were mortal enemies. It was either you die or I die. Chapter 2397. The people of the Mu family were speechless and could only look at Lu Ming with murderous intent. Kill. Lu Ming said coldly. He held the long spear in his hand and charged forward again. Today he would not leave any of the upper echelons of the Mu family alive. Evil creature, die. At this moment, a loud roar came from the depths of the Mu family. The voice was filled with vicissitudes of life. Then, a terrifying blade light slashed out from the depths of the Mu family. Peak Great Emperor. When this blade light appeared, Lu Ming's eyes narrowed slightly. The Mu family was indeed unfathomable. There were still experts who had not made a move. There were actually peak Great Emperors in hibernation. Ha ha ha, I have been waiting for this moment. A loud laugh came. Then, a huge tortoise shell appeared out of thin air and blocked the blade light. It was Dandan who had made a move. Previously, he and Bubble had been watching from the side without any intention of making a move. It was to prevent the Mu family from having stronger existences. Clang! The blade light slashed on the tortoise shell. The shell shook and dissipated. However, the blade light was also blocked. Boom! Boom! Then, a terrifying aura erupted from the depths of the Mu family. A total of 5 auras erupted. It was vast and mighty. A terrifying pressure spread between heaven and earth. Then, 5 old men stepped out and appeared in front of everyone. These 5 old men were very old. Their hair was snow white and their skin was dry and wrinkled. They were like 5 withered skeletons. Old ancestors. The Mu family head was overjoyed. It's the old ancestors. The old ancestors are indeed not dead. They have come out of seclusion. Let's see how they will die this time. The other people of the Mu family were also overjoyed. The Mu family indeed has a strong foundation. These should be the old monsters who are in seclusion. Someone who was watching the battle from afar said. The Mu family was definitely one of the strongest forces in Aeon City. They had a strong foundation. Legend had it that a long time ago, the Mu family had even produced a heavenly emperor. However, the heavenly emperor of the Mu family died in battle. But from this, it could be seen how strong the Mu family was. There had always been a legend that there were some old monsters in seclusion in the depths of the Mu family. They cultivated wholeheartedly, and did not care about the outside world. They only wanted to raise their cultivation to resist the heavenly tribulation, and even break through to the heavenly emperor realm. Only when the Mu clan was in danger he would not come out of seclusion. Today, after the Mu clan's martial monarchs were killed one after another, these old men had indeed come out. The Mu clan's resources are truly profound. Today we're saved. Lu Ming is dead for sure. The Hung clan great monarch, Tianluo great monarch, and the others were overjoyed. 3 6-star Great Emperors and 2 7-star Great Emperors. Dandan, I'll leave them to you. Lu Ming transmitted his voice to Dandan. Don't worry, I'll take care of it soon. Dandan was very confident. Back at the Void God Island, Dandan was only a 6-star Great Emperor, but he could suppress other peak Great Emperors and even kill them. Moreover, Dandan had already become a peak 7-star Great Monarch. With his strength, it was easy for him to kill those who were at the same level as him. The 5 old men from the Mu clan swept their gazes over Lu Ming like lightning. Their cold and shriveled voices rang out. You killed a member of my Mu clan. Kill without mercy. Kill your sister. Have a taste of my invincible tortoise fist. Dandan charged out with extreme speed and threw a punch at one of the peak Great Emperors from the Mu clan. His punch was filled with dazzling runes as though it was forming a world. The old man from the Mu clan was shocked and quickly set up layers of defense. However, these defenses were useless as they were penetrated by Dandan's punch. Then Dandan's fist landed heavily on the old man's face. Bam! Kacha! The sound of bones breaking resounded throughout the place. The old man from the Mu clan cried out in pain as his body flew far away and smashed into a palace in the Mu clan. Everyone was dumbfounded. One of the old men from the Mu clan had a terrifying aura as he was a peak Great Emperor. The moment he appeared, everyone was shocked. However, his arrogance only lasted for a few seconds before he was sent flying with a single punch. Moreover, the one who sent him flying was a teenager who wore a Taoist robe. A teenage Taoist priest. With Dandan's appearance, it was easy for people to overlook him because he wasn't that impressive. However, at this moment, the impact on everyone was the greatest. Lu Ming did have a helper. His combat strength is shockingly strong. He sent a peak Great Emperor flying with a punch. No wonder he dared to attack the Mu clan. Terrifying. Is the Mu clan really finished today? Many people were discussing. Among them, the Xian clan was the most shocked. Xian Lin and Dongfang Shuiyu swallowed their saliva as cold sweat flowed down their faces. Their clothes were drenched in cold sweat. At this moment, they were secretly glad that they didn't attack Lu Ming. Otherwise, their Xian clan would be finished. The Xian clan's strength couldn't be compared to the Mu clan. They would really be finished. Pervert. Pervert. I'll never provoke this pervert again. Xian Lin roared in his heart. He was really scared. At this moment, the remaining 4 old men from the Mu clan felt goosebumps all over their body. They instinctively retreated frantically and distanced themselves from Dandan. You dare to flaunt your seniority in front of me? You don't know the meaning of death. Kill. Dandan flicked his sleeves, looking like a peerless expert. Then he charged towards the Mu clan's ancestors. A huge world appeared. It was vast and boundless, exuding a majestic pressure that pressed down on the Mu clan's ancestors. Even if others condensed a small world, they wouldn't be able to directly use it against their enemies. This was because the small world they condensed wasn't as stable, and would be easily destroyed by others. However, Dandan could do it. He was the world divine tortoise. The word world wasn't just for show. His control over the small world had reached the peak. The small world was incomparably stable and possessed great power. It also had an indestructible defense. The small world covered the sky as it pressed down. The Mu clan's ancestors had nowhere to run. They could only face it head-on. Boom, boom, boom. The Mu clan's elders attacked. For attacks were launched towards Dandan's small world. Behind them, the elder who was almost killed by Dandan's punch also made a move. However, the 5 attacks only caused Dandan's small world to tremble. They couldn't break it or block it. Boom. Boundless power pressed down. The 3 6-star Great Emperors cried out in pain as they vomited blood. Their bodies cracked and were covered in blood. The 2 peak Great Emperors were slightly better off, but they were also severely injured. Swoosh. Dandan turned into a phantom and charged forward, unleashing a bloody massacre. After a few screams, the 3 6-star Great Emperors were killed by Dandan in an instant. No! The Mu clan's patriarch and the others cried out in horror. They couldn't accept such an outcome. Kill. At this moment, Lu Ming roared and launched a violent attack. Although the Mu clan's experts resisted with all their might, the outcome was already decided. Screams were heard continuously. The Mu clan's great emperors died one after another in the hands of Lu Ming. Chapter 2398. Let's go, let's go. In the distance, the Hung clan's heavenly emperor, Tianluo Great Emperor, and the others were almost scared to death. Then, they led their subordinates and turned around to escape from the Mu clan. Lu Ming's strength had far exceeded their imagination. They knew that if they didn't run, they would be the ones to die. Every one of the Mu clan, let's go. At this moment, the Mu clan's patriarch roared, his voice spreading far and wide. He knew that the Mu clan was finished today. The Mu clan would be removed from the divine fate land, but he didn't want the Mu clan to be destroyed. He wanted the rest of the Mu clan to escape. Patriarch! Someone from the Mu clan cried out in grief. Let's go, let's go. The Mu clan's patriarch roared, but his roar stopped abruptly. This was because Lu Ming's long spear had pierced through his dantian, crippling his cultivation. He let out a mournful cry, his eyes were filled with despair. Let's go. The Mu clan's experts below the great emperor level turned into streaks of light, flying in all directions like countless meteors streaking across the void. You want to leave? Have you asked for my permission? Dandan sneered. He waved his hands, and runes entered the void. Then, countless runes appeared around the Mu clan, forming a light barrier that enveloped the entire Mu clan. A formation. A few days ago, Dandan had quietly set up a formation around the Mu clan. Today, no one would be able to escape. No, seeing the formation, the Hung clan's great emperor, Tianluo Great Emperor, and the others roared in despair and attacked the light barrier. However, this was a formation that Dandan had spent a few days setting up. With their cultivation base, how could they break it? Their attacks landed on the light barrier, but there wasn't even a trace of ripple on the light barrier. No, no, no. The Mu clan's people roared in madness and attacked crazily. They were filled with despair. Why is this happening? An eminent elder of the Mu clan looked up and sighed. They had only offended a young man of the younger generation, that's all. A young man of the younger generation should be killed. Their Mu clan had existed for so long. Along the way, they had offended countless so-called geniuses and killed countless so-called geniuses. Even though those sky prides were extremely talented, they were still crushed into dust in the face of their strength. Never in their wildest dreams would they have thought that offending a prodigy this time would send their Mu clan to their doom. In the depths of the sky, at an unknown height, there were two figures standing there. Everything below fell into their eyes. These two people were none other than Hung Xinghe and his master, the Nine Demons' heavenly emperor. Master, it seems that Lu Ming brought the world turtle with him. There should be no sky emperor with him. Should we make a move now? Stellar River asked. Are you worried about the Hung family? The Nine Devil Celestial Emperor asked. No, Xinghe shook his head and said. I just feel that it's about time. Let's wait and see. The Nine Demons' heavenly emperor said. After killing Lu Ming, these people from the Hung family will definitely die too. They will be killed by the Sky Emperor behind Lu Ming. No matter what, they won't be able to live, so you don't have to worry about it. Let's wait and see. Do you understand? This disciple understands. Xinghe bowed and nodded. The two continued to watch. The battle below was nearing its end. Dandan intervened and killed several 5-star great emperors from the Mu clan with a few slaps. The remaining great emperors were all killed by Lu Ming. None of the Mu clan's great emperors were left alive. This scene was truly shocking. The spectators all felt their hearts beating wildly, unable to calm down. The Mu clan had dominated the Aeon City for countless years. Even in the Divine Fate Land, they were considered a top force. All of their great emperors were killed by a young man just like that. The world was really unpredictable. The Xian clan's eminent elders, Xianlin and Dongfang Shuiyu, were drenched in cold sweat. Their faces were pale, and they were terrified. If they hadn't held back and attacked Lu Ming, the Xian clan would have been destroyed. Bam! Bam! With the long spear in his hand, Lu Ming walked step by step toward the great emperors of the Hung family, He family and Tianluo family. Lu Ming, don't kill us. Xinghe already has a Sky Emperor as his master. If you destroy our Hung family, Xinghe won't let you go. Hung family's great emperor shouted. You're still threatening me at this time. How foolish. I will kill Xinghe with my own hands in the future. Lu Ming said coldly as his footsteps quickened. Hung family's great emperor and the others were in despair. They kept retreating, but they were blocked by the array. I won't attack unless I'm attacked. I didn't provoke you from the beginning. Everything is your own fault. Today, let's end it all. Kill. Lu Ming roared and stabbed out with his spear. Puff. The spear pierced Tianluo Great Emperor's forehead, killing him in the air. No. Hung family's great emperor and He family's great emperor were terrified. They flew to the sides, but Lu Ming stabbed out 2 more times. The 2 of them followed in Tianluo Great Emperor's footsteps and were killed by Lu Ming. Kill, kill, kill. Then Lu Ming attacked crazily. He didn't show any mercy and turned into a killing machine. Endless spear radiance burst out from his hand and rushed towards the remaining experts from Mu family, Daoyuo Heaven Sect, and He family. Lu Ming was only merciful to the Hung family. That was because of Hung Yu Heavenly Emperor. Hung family was the descendant of Hung Yu Heavenly Emperor after all. Hung Yu Heavenly Emperor had helped Lu Ming a lot. Lu Ming didn't want to exterminate Hung family. Lu Ming only killed a few higher-ups from Hung family. Lu Ming didn't kill the rest. However, Lu Ming showed no mercy to Mu family, He family, and Daoyuo Heaven Sect. All the people above the Martial Emperor realm were killed by Lu Ming. For a time, this area was filled with bloodqi. It was like hell on earth. Hung family, for the sake of Hung Yu Heavenly Emperor, I won't exterminate you. Get out. Lu Ming looked at the remaining people from Hung family. Go, go. The remaining people from Hung family rushed in one direction. Dandan waved his hand, and the formation automatically separated. It didn't stop them. I, Lu Ming, don't want to kill more people below the Martial Emperor realm. If you want revenge in the future, come to me. Get out. Finally, Lu Ming looked at those people below the Martial Emperor realm. Those people fled in all directions as if they had been granted amnesty. Soon, there was no one left in the big Mu family. The Mu family, which dominated Aeon City, was destroyed. It was destroyed by a young man. Dandan Bubbles Autumn Moon, let's go. Lu Ming said and turned away. He didn't want to kill more people. However, in this world, things didn't always go as you wished. There were bound to be some obstacles if you wanted to reach the top. This guy is still too soft-hearted. Dandan curled his lips and followed Lu Ming out. But at this moment, Dandan's face changed dramatically and he looked into the depths of the sky. Chapter 2399. Lu Ming felt a terrifying sense of danger. This sense of danger came from the depths of the sky dome. Swoosh. At this moment, a sword light shone from the depths of the sky. The light of this sword light was dozens of times brighter than the sun. It illuminated heaven and earth, and a vast pressure of the heavenly Tao filled the air. Everyone felt a great terror in their hearts. Sky Emperor, there is indeed a Sky Emperor behind this. Who is it? Lu Ming's mind was racing. After he destroyed the Mu clan, he thought it was the Mu clan, the Hung clan, the He clan, and the Daoyuo Heaven Sect behind this. He thought it was over. However, when the sword light appeared, Lu Ming knew it was not over yet. There was still a Sky Emperor realm expert hiding behind the scenes, and only struck at the last moment. Cautious. The Sky Emperor was extremely cautious. Even when he struck at the last moment, he struck from a distance. Don't even think about it. At this moment, Dandan shouted. Countless runes were emitted from his body. Around the Mu clan, the array appeared again, forming a ray of light that shrouded the area. Then Dandan waved his hand. Pieces of turtle shells appeared out of thin air, blocking the sword light from piercing towards Lu Ming. The great spear appeared in Lu Ming's hand. Puff. At this moment, the sword light had arrived. The array set up by Dandan had amazing defensive power. However, when the sword light pierced the light screen shook violently and was pierced through. The sword light pierced through the light screen and bombarded the layers of turtle shells set up by Dandan. Bam! 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 The turtle shells set up by Dandan exploded continuously. A terrifying force swept out in all directions. In the end, Dandan groaned. His body flew far away and he spat out a mouthful of blood. However, after Dandan's continuous obstruction, the power of the sword light had been greatly weakened. However, it did not stop and continued to attack Lu Ming. Block it! Lu Ming roared and revealed a crazed look. All 17 types of laws erupted and covered the great desolate spear. Then Lu Ming stabbed out with all his strength. This spear was Lu Ming's strongest spear. All of his strength erupted at this moment. Clang! The great desolate spear collided with the sword light. Lu Ming immediately felt a terrifying energy rush towards him through the great desolate spear. Wang! The great desolate spear trembled incessantly. Lu Ming was forced back. His arms and body were covered with sword scars. It was as if he had been struck by hundreds of swords in an instant. But in the end he managed to block it. Lu Ming circulated the indestructible ancient scripture with all his might. His injuries were rapidly recovering. Deep in the sky. It seems like there really are no other sky emperors here. Lu Ming, today, your everything will be mine. Disciple, let's go. The 9 Demon Heaven Emperor's face was filled with ecstasy as he swept up the eternal river and headed downwards. That sword strike just now was just a test. If there was a Sky Emperor here, he would have fled immediately. However, seeing how Lu Ming and Dandan were resisting with all their might, he concluded that there was no Sky Emperor by Lu Ming's side. Not far in front of Lu Ming, a light flashed and 2 figures appeared out of thin air. Hung Xinghe, 9 Demon Heaven Emperor, it's you. Seeing Hung Xinghe and the 9 Demon Heaven Emperor, Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. It seemed like the person behind this was the 9 Demon Heaven Emperor. He did not let Tu Yi and Lei Yi come out just now because he wanted to lure them out. Lu Ming, you killed the innocent. Today, my master will enforce justice on behalf of the heavens. Hung Xinghe shouted. He, enforcing justice on behalf of the heavens? Don't make it sound so dignified. Hung Xinghe, I underestimated you in the past. You're really inhumane. You even wanted to use the Hung family. Moreover, you didn't do anything when the Hung family was destroyed. Lu Ming sneered coldly. Lu Ming, you're a sensible person. Take out everything you have, remember everything, and this old man will give you a quick death. The 9 Demon Heaven Emperor spoke, and his aura spread out. A Sky Emperor could borrow the power of the heavenly Tao. That aura was too terrifying, as if the heavenly Tao was pressing down on them. Everyone in Aeon City paled, feeling the terrifying pressure. Sky Emperor, oh heavens, it's a Sky Emperor. There's actually a Sky Emperor behind this. Lu Ming is finished, he actually offended a Sky Emperor. Many people screamed in their hearts, but no one dared to speak out, afraid of offending a Sky Emperor. In the eyes of everyone in Aeon City, a Sky Emperor was a supreme existence. With a single thought, they could turn 1,000,000 corpses into a river of blood. Now, there was actually a Sky Emperor who wanted to kill Lu Ming. Lu Ming was dead for sure. 9 Demon Heaven Emperor, looks like you're coveting the treasures on me. It's easy for you to kill me, but if this matter gets out, you won't have a place to hide. Lu Ming said with a calm expression. Ha ha ha, the world is so big. When the time comes, who can find me if I just hide? The 9 Demon Heaven Emperor laughed loudly, looking at the great spear in Lu Ming's hand, full of blazing flames, full of greed. Want my treasure? Come and take it yourself. Want me to hand it over? That's impossible. Lu Ming said, deliberately retreating slowly. Resisting stubbornly, dragging out your hunger. The 9 Demon Heaven Emperor said coldly. His figure swayed, pouncing towards Lu Ming. Fast, too fast. How astonishing was the speed of a Sky Emperor. It was unbelievably fast. Before everyone could react, he had already arrived in front of Lu Ming. His claws were like hooks, grabbing towards Lu Ming's glabella. With such speed, Lu Ming couldn't dodge even if he wanted to. However, Lu Ming had no intention of dodging at all. Lu Ming stood there calmly, allowing the other party to grab at him. Lu Ming is dead for sure. Many people had such a thought in their minds. But at this moment, Lu Ming suddenly had an extra arm. A khaki-colored arm directly blasted out from Lu Ming's body, blasting towards the 9 Demon Heaven Emperor's claws. It really looked like Lu Ming had an extra arm out of thin air. Boom. There was a deafening explosion, and the 9 Demon Heaven Emperor's body shook violently. He couldn't help but retreat 100 miles. A figure also appeared on Lu Ming's body. It was a khaki-colored figure with a burly figure and a mountain-like aura. It was Tui. Chaos Hall, Tui. The 9 Demon Heaven Emperor's face was extremely ugly. 9 demons, looks like you're tired of living. To dare have designs on my Chaos Hall's young lord. Tui opened his mouth coldly, his eyes somewhat ferocious. All around, the others were dumbfounded. This unforeseen event exceeded everyone's expectations. Originally thought that Lu Ming was dead for sure, but did not expect that a figure would suddenly appear on Lu Ming's body. Furthermore, this figure was clearly also a Sky Emperor. Behind Lu Ming, there was also a Sky Emperor realm existence. Furthermore, listening to the meaning, this Sky Emperor addressed Lu Ming as young lord, and listened to Lu Ming's orders. The 9 Demon Heaven Emperor's expression was extremely ugly, but Hung Xinghe's expression was even uglier. Damn it, how is this possible? Hung Xinghe roared angrily in his heart. They already probed several times and were virtually certain that Lu Ming did not have a Sky Emperor following by his side. They did not expect that Lu Ming still had a Sky Emperor by his side. Chapter 2400. Let's go. The 9 Demon Heavenly Varch shouted as a surge of energy swept across Xinghe, forcing him to retreat. With Tui out, he knew that he couldn't do anything to Lu Ming, so he had to retreat. Staying alive was the most important thing. It's too late to leave now. A cold voice was heard, followed by a flash of lightning. A figure appeared behind the 9 Demon Heavenly Varch. The figure was covered with lightning. It was Lei Yi. The 9 Demon Heavenly Varch stopped in his tracks as his face darkened. Beside Lu Ming were Lei Yi and Tui. There were 2 Heavenly Thearchs. With 2 Heavenly Thearchs surrounding him, he was in danger. A look of despair appeared on Xinghe's face. Lu Ming, what happened today is a misunderstanding. How about I apologize to you in front of everyone another day? The 9 Demon Heavenly Varch smiled flatteringly. Misunderstanding? He kill him. Lu Ming spoke calmly and gave the order directly. He wouldn't give the 9 Demon Heavenly Varch any chance. The 9 Demon Heavenly Varch must die. Kill. Lei Yi roared as lightning surrounded his body. He threw a punch at the 9 Demon Heavenly Varch. Lu Ming, look who's dead. The 9 Demon Heavenly Thearch's eyes were ferocious as he charged at Lu Ming with Xinghe. Tui stepped out and threw a punch at the 9 Demon Heavenly Varch. However, the 9 Demon Heavenly Varch waved his hand and threw Xinghe at Tui. Master! Xinghe screamed in desperation. Rest in peace. I'll avenge you. The 9 Demon Heavenly Thearch's cold voice rang in Xinghe's ears. Arg! Xinghe screamed in agony as his body was crushed into dust by Tuyi's terrifying punch. He couldn't fight back at all. Seizing this opportunity, the 9 Demons Heavenly Varch dashed toward Lu Ming in a flash. He wanted to take down Lu Ming and use Lu Ming as a hostage to escape. He wanted to get all the resources from Lu Ming, such as the indestructible ancient scripture. You're courting death. Tui roared as a meteor hammer appeared in his hand. With a swing, the meteor hammer shot towards 9 Demon Sky Emperor, like a meteor. Its speed was unbelievably fast, and it emitted a terrifying heavenly Tao pressure. The 9 Demon Sky Emperor's pupils contracted rapidly as he let out a desperate roar. Heavenly Tao Soldier. This meteor hammer was naturally the Heavenly Tao weapon that Lu Ming had given to Tui. The meteor hammer's speed was unbelievably fast. It caught up to the 9 Demon Sky Emperor in an instant. He had no time to attack Lu Ming, and could only turn around to defend. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A long sword appeared in the 9 Demon Sky Emperor's hand. In an instant, he stabbed out hundreds of times. Hundreds of sword lights converged into one sword and blasted towards the meteor hammer. But it was useless. He could not block it at all. Tui was already stronger than the 9 Demon Heavenly Emperor, and with the addition of the Heavenly Tao weapon, His battle prowess was far above the 9 demon heavenly emperors. Boom. With a loud boom, the meteor hammer smashed through the 9 demon celestial emperor's sword light with an unstoppable momentum, and continued on its way to him. At this critical moment, the 9 demon heavenly emperor could only block it with his battle sword. But when the meteor hammer landed on the battle sword, the top-grade Great Emperor weapon exploded. The terrifying force slammed heavily onto the 9 demon heavenly emperor's body. The 9 demon heavenly emperor screamed as his body was sent flying. His body was split into 2. Although he was not dead, he was severely injured. His aura was weak and his face was pale. After being hit by the heavenly Tao soldier, the 9 demon heavenly emperor's strength was reduced to less than 10%. Lu Ming, I surrender. Don't kill me. I can acknowledge you as my master and serve you. The 9 demon heavenly emperor screamed in fear. He was truly afraid now. He stood no chance against 2E, who had the heavenly Tao soldier. He would definitely be killed. It was the first time in countless years that he felt such fear. Not interested. Kill. Lu Ming said coldly. Die. 2E roared ferociously as the meteor hammer smashed towards the 9 demon heavenly emperor. Lu Ming, you will die a horrible death. Arg, the 9 demon heavenly emperor screamed hysterically. He used all his means to escape, but it was useless. Under the attack of the heavenly Tao soldier, all his means were superfluous. Bam! The 9 demon heavenly emperor's body exploded in the air. Even his soul was turned into ashes under the attack of the heavenly Tao soldier. The 9 demon heavenly emperor, a heavenly emperor, died just like that. At this moment, the surrounding crowd was numb. They could not make a sound. They were stunned as they looked at Lu Ming. A heavenly emperor was dead. A heavenly emperor was killed by Lu Ming's subordinates. This scene was too impactful, too shocking. A heavenly emperor was a legendary figure in the Yuan realm. They were supreme beings who would never face a heavenly tribulation. They had an endless lifespan, the same lifespan as the heavens and earth. Their combat strength was boundless. It was extremely difficult to meet such a figure. But now one of them had fallen in front of them. Moreover, it was because of a young man. Young master, that guy's storage ring. 2E flew back and handed a storage ring to Lu Ming. It was left behind by the 9 demon heavenly emperor. Lu Ming nodded and kept the storage ring. Let's go. Lu Ming said and was about to leave. Young hero Lu Ming, please wait. At this moment a voice sounded. Lu Ming was slightly stunned. He stopped and turned around. 5 to 6 figures walked over. Lu Ming recognized 2 of them. They were Dongfeng Xueyu and Xianlin. What? Is the Xian family trying to find trouble with me? Lu Ming said coldly. Xianlin, Dongfeng Xueyu, and a few elders of the Xian family shuddered. An elder with a face full of wrinkles was full of smiles. He cupped his fists and said, Young brother Lu Ming, you must be joking. How would we dare to fight with you? We're here to apologize. Xianlin, Dongfeng Xueyu, hurry up and apologize to young brother Lu Ming. In the end, the elder looked coldly at Xianlin and Dongfeng Xueyu. Just now they saw the Mu family being annihilated. In the end, even a celestial emperor was killed. They were almost scared to death. They were afraid that Lu Ming would attack the Xian family, because of Xianlin. If that happened, the Xian family would definitely perish. So when they saw that Lu Ming was about to leave, they hurriedly came out and apologized to Lu Ming. Xianlin and Dongfeng Xueyu stepped forward with pale faces. They clasped their fists and bowed. We were blind before and offended you. Please forgive us and don't stoop to our level. Lu Ming did not comment. He waved his hand casually and walked away without saying anything. Autumn Moon, Bubbles, Dandan, 2E, and Lei followed Lu Ming and disappeared without a trace. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.